to Paul Takes on the News. And today we will be discussing something I think is rather funny. Actor and model Antonio Sabato Jr. is running for Congress in California in 2018, or for 2018. Now, when I first heard that, when I saw it on the news this morning, the headlines, I thought it was funny, to be honest with you. What came to mind was that movie, what was it called? Team America World Police, where the actors have to save the world because the actors are the most powerful people because they can act. And acting is so difficult and so hard to do. They can fake anything. So when I heard of him doing that, running for Congress, that came to mind. I'm sorry, it did. I'm thinking, what's he gonna do? He's gonna pretend he's gonna act like a congressman. I could act like I'm smart. I'm smart now. I'm an actor. I can fake it. I can read lines really well. So I thought, what a joke. Kind of mean, I know. I mean, I don't know the guy. Wait a minute. Come to think of it, I did know him. Huh? Yeah, I actually knew him. Not well, don't get me wrong. We weren't like buddies or anything. But I knew him I've seen him around. He was around a lot. And I'll tell you our background, our history in the past together. Way back when, man, this is when I was 16 years old or something. Probably 17 or something, 16, 17, maybe even early 18, I don't know. I used to work at a movie theater in California, Marina del Rey. And wouldn't you know it, he worked there just before I did. So he was there a little before me, and then when I got there, he had just left. So I never worked with him at the movie theater. But I heard all about it, and he used to come back around and talk to the manager. He had like a good relationship with the manager as like a mentor kind of a thing. So he got along with the manager really well. And he'd come around and visit him, and I got to meet him that way. And, he was real small talk with me. He was more interested in the manager, which he was apparently close friends with. But he did come around. I remember when he had his first car, he came around with his brand new probably not his first car, but first new car. And he gave me a ride with the manager in his new car. It was a Pathfinder. It was pretty nice. But anyways, so then, after that, I used to work out at a gym. I used to work at the gym. I was a personal trainer. That's right, back in the day. And he used to work out there, and he used to work out with the head trainer, which was he was also like the head manager, where he was and I was a manager and a trainer, but I was a shift manager, and he was the big manager. And he was a much older trainer. He was like an OG bodybuilder. He was probably around 70 years old, and they were real tight. And I used to see Antonio when they were working out every morning, and he trained hard. He didn't play around. He was very dedicated into his workouts, and he was really intense. But at the same time, I saw him a lot, but he wasn't very social with me. He wasn't social with anybody, to be honest with you, except for the head trainer. And kind of the same way with the movie theater. He wasn't really social with anybody but the manager. And I talked to people that actually worked with him, and he said, I'll be honest with you, I don't recall if he said he was cool or not. I know he was very driven, so that would probably be a good thing. But he just didn't take me as a very social person. And a lot of people thought he was very arrogant or conceited. And I didn't really see it that way. I thought maybe he was a little shy or just focused on what he was doing. But he came across that way, and I heard that a lot, that they thought he was arrogant, conceited. But that being said, so that's basically all I know of the guy. So what I saw him was being a driven guy, and he was very focused. So those were actually pretty good contributes to be a congressman or be somebody important, fancy. I don't know if he was really all that smart. He seemed like he was a pretty sharp guy. I don't know if he was really smart. So my only issue with him, and I, after thinking about him, and actually as well as working in Hollywood. So Hollywood, you think of actors, they got it easy. The whole Hollywood thing is it's like a pampered society or whatever. It's really lax. But I was also did some extra work, and I was around the sets a lot. And I can tell you that people that work in movies and stuff are driven. They work hard. They're not pansies. They bust their butt. And they work long hours, 12-hour days, maybe longer. And they kill you. They bust you. They're very competitive. They're very into what they're doing. They have a lot of pride in their work. So they work hard. So they're not a bunch of pansies, which we might want to believe. They're rich, though. I mean, don't get me wrong, the actors are, some of them. If you have lines, you're going to make some money. But it's seasonal, though. You get a part one day, you're busting your butt for 6 months or 3 months, whatever the shoot is, and then you might not have anything for a while. So you got to live off that money. So there's that back and forth. So you need the money, they make good money, but then you might not be working for a while. And in his case, I mean, I didn't follow his career, don't get me wrong. He seemed like he was really on top of the world for a little while, but I haven't heard much about him lately. You know, I see him on the news every now and again. I know way back he did some reality TV. I know he was on some soap opera, and he was a model for Gap or something, one of those companies. And he did well and made some good money. So he seemed like he's sharp. I think he kept his money. I think he's doing pretty good. So would I vote for him? I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest with you. My thing that I think will be his biggest challenge is when you think of like a politician. You think of like good politicians and great politicians, or just like your average show politician or wannabe ones. So it's like the image of going around shaking everybody's hand, kissing the babies, and trying to relate to people. You know, your typical crappy one, you can see right through them. You know, they're just doing their politician bit, and they're shaking their hand, they're being friendly. Oh, how you doing? But you can see right through it. The great politicians, they do the same thing, but they really seem like they care. They'll remember your name. They're just like really outgoing, and you feel like you're like their buddy, you know. So that makes a really good politician. I don't see him doing that. Maybe at the Congress level, it doesn't take that much brown nosing and kissing babies and shaking hands. Maybe just more like doing speeches. But if it came down to that, I don't see him doing that. I could be wrong. I know he's driven and he's focused, so maybe he'll learn, or maybe he's changed in the years, or who knows. But that's my take. I think he's got the drive. He's probably smart enough. He seems trustworthy. I think he's a very religious dude. And I was a knucklehead, so that's another reason why he probably didn't talk to me that much. So, I mean, I think he's a pretty good guy. I'm curious to see how good he will. So I'll be watching him. Maybe I'll do some updates, because it is kind of interesting, you know, to see somebody you actually knew running for Congress. And I know his strengths, or what I think are his strengths, and what I think are his weaknesses. So he could have changed, and he could have grown, and he could have been, I don't know. But I think he's a legit, like, sincere person. I just don't know how well he'll do. So let's see. We'll keep track on that. Well, thanks for watching. That's all I got, which kind of ran a little long. But appreciate it. And if you like it, please hit subscribe and like and all that stuff. Thank you for watching.